position, just a cross-legged seated position. And just kind of using this place as a means of transitioning from whatever you were doing to your mat. You're on your mat, just kind of settling into your seat. Feel free to close your eyes. We won't be here for too long, so just taking this time to just drop in, let your shoulders soften down the back, and just slow down the breath a bit. You might even choose to take a big breath in through your nose, let the belly expand, and a slow breath out of your mouth. And just taking the next few moments to ask yourself a simple question of, what am I here for? What is this practice for today? As you sit with that intention for the next few breaths, you might fine-tune it a little bit. Just thinking about a specific focus for today, for your practice. Maybe that's softening, maybe it's strength, maybe it's just to have fun. Whenever you feel ready, you can just start to transition into child's pose. So just rolling over your knees. Feel free to open your eyes. And just take your time getting settled into child's pose. And I mentioned this when some of you were on here, but just check in with where your front of the mat is. So just noticing what direction you faced, and just kind of maybe even checking in with what's in front of you in the space that you're in. As you settle into child's pose, just let your hips get a little heavier. Let your lips seal, and breathe in and out of your nose. Ujjayi breathing. This breath is really nice for just kind of honing in, just focusing, even calming. The breath moves slowly over the throat. You might give your head a little rock side to side here. And then gently just start to walk your hands back so you're up in a kneeling position, standing up on your knees, letting your hips lift up and over the knees. And then just bring your hands to the low back, interlace the fingers, and then curl the chest open, look up. Take a big breath in here. As you exhale, just hinge forward, fold forward, tapping your forehead on the ground. Hands fall behind you for a moment. And then just release your hands down onto the ground out in front of you like tabletop, and come into cow pose. Drop your belly, look up, and arch the back. And then just round back into your child's pose. Exhale, the hips set back heavy. And then inhale, rise all the way back up onto the knees. So this is kind of like a knee down vinyasa. Arms stretch up, reach up, look up, and then hands to the low back. Interlacing here, lift the chest, lengthening up through the sides of your body. And then fold forward, hinge forward, head taps the ground, arms fall behind you. Just releasing your hands to your sides, and then out in front of you for your cow pose. Look up, arch the back. And then exhale, the hips set back over the heels, just rounding the back here. When you're ready, inhale, rise back up. We'll do 2 more rounds of this little flow here. Inhale to stretch up, reach up, and then hands to the low back. Interlace the fingers, open the chest, arch the back. Exhale, rounding, forehead taps down, hips set back. And then hands release to your sides, stretch them forward, tabletop into cow pose. Look forward. And exhale, set the hips back. Go ahead and rise up when you're ready. This is the last round. Just warming up the spine here, connecting breath and movement. This kind of connection of vinyasa, where we link one moment to the next, one action to the next. Just meeting back in child's pose just for a full round of breath when you finish that little flow. Maybe letting a breath out of the mouth even, slow, elongated exhale out. And then just start to shift forward so the hands are under the shoulders and the knees are slightly behind the hips. So that knee down plank variation. Just tapping into the chaturanga arms here. You can just start to bend your elbows, pausing the elbows once they hit the sides of your body. So nice strong connection there, and then just press right back up. Use the core, and then 2 more. Just exhaling, hugging the elbows in, almost like they're wrapping down and in towards your rib cage. Press up, keep the collarbones broad. Nice, 1 more, last one, rest, lowering on your exhale, back up, and then we'll come to down dog. So just tucking your toes, lifting the hips up. And we're just gonna take a break from doing chaturanga through practice today to kind of save the arms for moving into crow pose. So if you're really, really wanting chaturanga still as we move through today, that's fine, but just maybe see how it feels to let those go as we flow. Balancing that effort and ease of your practice. Just knowing that these restful moments can be helpful in the long run for when more action is needed. Just take 1 more full breath in your down dog. A full breath out, empty your lungs. And then just tiptoe to the top of the mat. Take your time to get there. Just lifting halfway, lengthening the spine, shoulders come to hip height, and then exhale, just folding, hinging, dropping the head. Rise all the way up on your inhale, stretch the arms up, look up, and then exhale, just dive over the legs, forward fold. Inhale brings you to lift halfway. You can even wrap the arms up and in, wrapping them in like chaturanga as you lift, and then exhale, fold. Hands on the ground, step to down dog, feet step back, take a big breath in, a full breath out, and then inhale straight to your up dog. You can roll to the tops of the feet or keep your toes tucked, just rolling forward, peeling open, upward facing dog. And then just exhaling all the way back to your downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here, a full breath out. Bend your knees, tiptoe to the top of the mat, take your time to get there, lifting halfway as you inhale, belly hugs in. Exhale, fold. Inhale brings you to rise up, feet are rooted, length here, and dive forward. Exhale, same thing, just warming up the body, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, step back to your down dog, feet step back, hips lift high. Inhale forward into your up dog, just through plank right away, peeling open. Back to down dog, lift the hips up and back. Take a full breath in and out. When you reach the bottom of your exhale, bend the knees, look forward, and make your way to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, lengthen, low belly hugs in. Exhale, fold, light belly, heavy head, rise up, reach up here. Feet are rooted. Last one, dive over the legs, forward fold. Little variation of sun A here. Lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale back to down dog. Full exhale brings you there, and inhale brings you forward into upward facing. So lifting through the chest, open through the front of the body, belly button to spine. Core pulls you back to down dog. And then just make your way to the top of the mat. Tiptoeing forward, lifting on your inhale, and exhale, folding. Rise up, reach up, arms stretch up here, and then bring your hands together at your heart center. Lift the center of the chest, feet are rooted. And go ahead and just release your hands to your sides. Sit back into chair pose. Hands can stay at your sides here or sweep them up and overhead, your choice. Just setting the hips back so the hip creases get a little more spacious here. Just balancing that effort and ease in this position. Take one more inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold over the legs, forward fold. Lift halfway as you inhale, get spacious in the spine, step back to down dog. Feet step back, upward facing, inhale, peel, open. You can keep the toes tucked or flip them all the way back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here, a full breath out, and then lift your right leg, sweep it up, just lengthen for a full inhale, and then step the foot through, grounded lunge. Hands stay on the ground, back knee stays lifted. Just settle in here for a couple of breaths, shifting side to side, forward, backward, just kind of feeling into this position. Look forward, just keeping that length in your back, almost like the back leg we're reaching so far back that it lengthens your spine as well. And then drop your left heel down. Bring the hands to the inside of the right foot. Walk to your left foot here. Side lunge, kind of same thing we did last week. Bending into the left knee. Right leg is extended straight. Just taking a couple breaths here. Drop your sitting bones down. Lift the chest up or forward. Just kind of keeping that length in the spine here. Nice, steady breath. Start to lift the hips enough so you can turn your left toes forward, right toes angle in, left toes forward, right toes angle in, side lunge, or side angle, left forearm to the top of the left thigh. So left toes are turned towards the back of your mat here, left toes turned towards the back of the mat, side angle on this side, babe. Just peeling open, side angle on the left side. Just peeling, we're making that full circle around the mat. So just reaching through the right fingertips towards the wall behind you. Just peeling open through the side of the body. Just feel into your right heel here as you drop into the hips for one more inhale. On your exhale, bring the hands down to the inside of your left foot, lift your back heel, come into lizard pose here. So just taking a couple breaths, a little deeper lunge than the one we started in. You might lower onto your forearms even. You can drop your back knee or keep it lifted. Just taking about 3 more full breaths here. Slow inhale, slow exhale. Breathe in, breathe out, and one more, inhaling. Exhale, come back up onto your hands, step back to your down dog. You can move through that little vinyasa that we've been doing, forward to up dog and then back, or just stay put where you are. Downward facing dog. We're now facing the back of the mat. Let's take a full breath in here, a full breath out. Lift your right leg, sweep it up, just lengthening here, and then step the foot through for warrior 2. Back heel drops, arms peel open out into a T. Just gazing over the front middle finger here, grounding through your feet. Find this lightness up through the upper body. And draw the navel in towards the spine, that Uddiyana Bandha, that scooping up and in. Just connect down into the feet. On your next exhale, left hand to the left thigh, right palm sweeps up, peaceful warrior for one big inhale. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the inside of the right foot, crawl all the way over to the left, crawling all the way to the front of the mat and into downward facing dog. So we'll just frame the left foot, step back, down dog. You can vinyasa here if you'd like, or just stay where you are. Back at the front of the mat, just breathing, connecting wherever you choose to go. Maybe letting a breath out of the mouth. On your next inhale, left leg lifts, just sweep it up, lengthen here, and then step it through for that grounded lunge. So same thing on this side, just getting that awareness of your body here in this lunge, warming up the hips a bit. Reach the chest forward. Keeping that steady, slow Ujjayi breathing. Drop your right heel, walk to the right side, lunge. Bend into the right knee, left leg extends straight. Just sinking here, breathing into that space in your hips where you feel the pose the most. When you're ready, just start to lift the hips a bit so you can turn your right toes towards the back of the mat, left toes angle inside, angle, right forearm to the top of your thigh, sweeping open, grounding here through the back heel. This big hip opener here, feeling that spacious quality through the side of your body. Peel the chest open for one more inhale. And then exhale the hands down to the inside of the right foot. Lift your back heel, lizard pose. Just sinking into the hip here. Dropping in, take a couple breaths. You can drop your back knee down or keep it lifted. Keeping it lifted is just a little more strength building, and dropping it down is just allowing you to sink into the stretch deeper. So whatever you're needing or wanting, just whatever matches your intention best. Just taking about 2 more breaths here. Maybe a breath out of the mouth. When you're ready, come back up onto your hands. Step back to your downward facing dog. Right foot meets the left. Take a full breath in here. A full breath out. Maybe move through that vinyasa. Just checking in. If movement is what you'd like, go there. Stillness. Stay put. When you're ready, left leg lifts, lifting on an inhale, step it through, warrior 2. Back heel drops, arms, cartwheel open, connect down into the feet. If you'd like a little more opening across the chest, feel free to flip your palms up. And see if you can find a little tilt in the pelvis, like the sitting bones were dropping down. That'll make a little more space in your low back. On your next exhale, right hand to right thigh, left arm sweeps up. Lift the left side ribs, inhale, and then exhale the hands down to the inside of the left foot. Walk to the right, all the way to the top of the mat, downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale to up dog if you're going there, all the way back, downward facing dog. Exhale. Take a full inhale. Full exhale. Bend your knees, tiptoe to the top of the mat. Take your time to get there. Lift halfway, lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees, lift your chest, chair pose. Arms sweep up. Hands to your sides, legs extend straight. Stand up. Just take a full breath in, a full breath out. Inhale to chair pose, just sitting back again. This time we'll bring the hands to heart center and just twist to the right. Left arm hooks to the outside of your right thigh. Just scooping the navel up and in. See if you can keep the knees matching. Kind of drawing the left knee back in line with the right. Gentle hugging in of the knees together. Nice. One more inhale here. Exhale through the center. And then just twist to the other side, just making that space in the low belly, kind of scooping up and in, drawing the hip creases back, broaden across the chest. On your next exhale, just fold forward, straighten your legs, head is heavy, belly is light. Lift halfway here, inhale. Exhale, step back to your down dog. Inhale to up dog. Open through the front of your body here. Back to downward facing dog as you exhale. Taking one more full breath in, full breath out. I see Lewis doing down dog too.
Lewis.
Just lift your right leg here. We'll open the hip this time. So bend your right knee, open the hip, squeeze the heel in towards your glute. If you'd like a little deeper stretch, try lowering your left forearm on the ground. That can be an option, just kind of feeling that spaciousness across the right side. If you've lowered onto your forearm, gently press back up. Palm is rooted, straighten your leg back out, inhale. And then draw the knee in towards your nose, exhale, rounding in, inhale to extend back. One more of those, just hugging in through the center. We'll hold for a full breath in, round your back, press into the ground. Exhale, step through warrior two, directly to peaceful warrior, just peeling all the way open here. Take a big breath in. Exhale to side angle, right forearm to the right thigh, lengthen through the left side body. And then right away back to peaceful. We're just starting a little flow here. Inhale to extend back, peaceful warrior. And then exhale to your side angle, lengthening. Just 2 more rounds of that. Core is stable, flowing through the arms here. Feel the feet connected to the earth. And we'll meet in that peaceful warrior. So the next time you get there, you can just stay put. Start to straighten your right leg. Take a big breath in, reaching from the right fingertips to the right toes. And then triangle pose. Reach up and over the right knee, heel open, reaching your left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Maybe take a little bend in your right knee to allow some energy to continue flowing there. Nice. Imagining somebody holding onto your left fingertips, pulling you up and out of the pose. Strong rise. Just start to turn towards the back of the mat. Left toes turn forward, right toes angle in. And then gently just bring the hands to the inside of the left foot. Drop your right knee down on the ground. Coming into a low lunge position, and then straighten your left leg, half split. You can slide your left heel forward. Draw the hip creases back. Lift halfway as you inhale, reaching the collarbones towards your left toes. And exhale, just fold into the shape. Just taking a couple more breaths here, feeling into the back of the leg. Feeling this connection to the ground, a little lower to the earth here. Inhaling back into your lunge, right hand on the ground, left arm peels open into a twist. You can stay here or tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, find a little more strength to your pose, a little more strength building. Just start to peel the chest open a little bit more. Lift the inner right thigh up towards the ceiling. One more big breath in. And exhale to down dog. Left hand plant, step back, left foot meets the right. Just a full breath in here, a full breath out. Right leg lifts, peel open, bend the knee just for one inhale here. Exhale, straighten the leg. Full inhale to lengthen, and then draw the knee in towards the nose, round the back. Inhale, extend back. And one more. Exhale through the center. Knee to nose, rounding, press into the earth. Step it through. Stay low. Just taking your time here to walk over to the left, turning your toes with you all the way back to the top of the mat, framing the front foot. Step back to your downward facing dog. We'll take a little pause here in between sides, taking a full breath in here. Drop your knees, swing the legs out in front of you, and come onto your back. Drop the knees, swing the legs out, just roll down. And just hug the knees in towards your chest for a moment here, just rocking a little bit side to side. And then bring the soles of the feet onto the earth. Cross the right ankle over your left thigh, coming into a reclined pigeon pose. So just kind of taking it down here, taking a few breaths to open the hip. Just this balance of effort and ease, just letting yourself take these moments of rest. And maybe this doesn't feel restful to you, and that's okay too. We'll just hold here for one more inhale. Exhale, unravel this side and just switch out. Left ankle over the right thigh. Just hugging in. Take a few breaths. Maybe a breath out of the mouth. Gently unravel your legs, bring the soles of the feet onto the ground, bridge pose. Feet about hip width distance apart, hands at your sides. Just start to lift the hips any amount, peeling open through the front of the body. Find that spaciousness in the hip creases here. Knees draw away from the chest. If you'd like, you can interlace the hands under your back, rolling the upper arms under you too. We'll hold here for 3 more breaths. Inhale slowly. Exhale completely. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more, inhaling. And your exhale rolls you down onto the ground. Nice slow release. And starting a little rock front to back here. We'll meet in Malasana squat. So rolling front to back, feet come wide at the top of the mat. And hands come to the heart center on the ground in front of you or propped up on your thighs. So your choice. If you want to play around for the next couple of breaths, just bringing your hands out in front of you onto the ground, shifting weight forward, and then shifting weight back. Just kind of feeling into how that feels to scoop the navel up and in, just come on the toes and come back. We'll come back to this in a little bit, so just know that after we even out the sides a bit. All right, wherever you are, just straighten your legs, heel toe your feet in towards one another. And then just stretch your arms up and overhead. Take a big breath in. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Lift halfway, inhale, and then step back to your downward facing dog. Hips lift high. Inhale, up dog, open through the front of the body. Exhale, back to your down dog. All right, lifting the left leg, peel open, bend your knee in towards your heel in towards your glute. Feel free to lower your right forearm down if you'd like that a little extra space. And gently come back up onto the hands, straighten your leg out, and then draw the knee in towards your nose. Exhale, rounding in. Inhale to lengthen back. Exhale through the center, holding there for an inhale. And then exhale, step it through warrior 2 directly to your peaceful warrior. Just opening up, inhale. Exhale to side angle, left forearm to the left thigh, sweep open. And inhale right away to peaceful, starting that flow. Exhale to side angle. 2 more rounds, draw the navel to the spine. Just moving with your breath, steady, flowing, slow inhale and exhale. All right, and we'll come back to peaceful warrior just to finish this little flow. Extending the left leg this time, just reaching that long line of energy, left toes to left fingertips. Into triangle pose, just reaching up and over the left knee, peeling open. Nice, take a couple more breaths here. Just finding that length through the sides of your body. Steady connection to the feet. And with a little bit of help, find that lift through the right fingertips all the way through the center. Turn your toes to the long side of the mat, all the way towards the back of your mat. Right toes turn forward, hands onto the mat. And then drop your left knee down. Straighten your front leg for a half split, lifting your right toes up towards the ceiling. Lengthen and lift halfway. And exhale to fold into the pose. You can imagine here kind of drawing your right hip crease back, letting your left hip crease slide forward a bit just to even that space out a little bit, your pelvis. Scoop the belly up and in. And then gently bend back into the front knee, look forward, left hand plants, peel open to the right. Right fingertips lift. Feel free to tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Just taking a couple breaths here. Drop the sitting bones down, peel open. Just one more inhale. Exhale to down dog. Right hand plant, step back. Vinyasa if you'd like. We'll just meet back in down dog. Lifting the left leg up and back when you get there. Peel open for an inhale. Exhale to straighten the leg back out. Hold for a big breath in. And then round through the middle. Exhale. Inhale to lengthen back. Exhale, knee to nose, round in and hold for an inhale. Stepping through for your lunge. Just crawling your hands over to the right, making your way all the way back to the top of the mat. Frame your front foot, step back to down dog. Take a full breath in here, a full breath out. Drop your knees onto the ground, swing your legs out in front of you and roll onto your back once more. Just take your time, coming onto your back. And this time, just come into a happy baby pose. So just bringing your knees wide, hold onto the backs of the knees, the edges of the feet. Just to set up here for our crow pose on the back. Just start to reach your hands in between your ankles, so the knees are placed high on the arms, almost like the knees are dropping down towards your armpits. And then imagine your knees squeezing into your arms. So actually squeeze your knees in towards your arms. Nice. And then just feel the upper back come off of the ground. Reach through your feet, Come that, upper back comes off of the ground. Just start to feel that connection to your core, almost like your back were pressing into the earth. Nice. Take one more inhale here. And then just release everything out. Bring the soles of the feet wide. Drop your knees in towards one another. And just take a couple breaths here. Resting and softening. Maybe a breath out of your mouth. And then just bring the knees in towards your chest. Start to rock front to back again. And we'll meet in a little toe squat this time. So just meeting with your feet together onto the toes and just kind of squatting down here for starters. Just feeling into your feet. If you want to check your balance even, you might bring your hands to your legs, maybe hands to heart center. Just kind of checking in, see how that feels for you. Lifted chest, steady breath. And when you're ready, we'll start to practice crow. So hands come about a foot in front of your feet, palms flat on the ground. And just like that little chaturanga push-up that we did at the beginning of class, you'll want to imagine the arms kind of wrapping out and in, almost like you're plugging your hands into the ground, wrapping up and in. And then you'll plant your knees as high up on your arms as you can. So high towards your armpits. And like Kelsey was saying, if that feels uncomfortable, just kind of check in where it feels okay to you. Maybe even farther out towards the outer edges of your arms. And then you might even kind of hug your knees in towards your arms to encourage that little wrapping in of the elbows. Look forward, lift the hips, scooping up and in, that Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. that lifting. And then maybe one heel comes in towards your glute, maybe the other. Nice, nice, Ethan. Yeah, you got some flight. Just keeping the breath steady. Feel free to take a break in between, roll out your wrists. Just kind of check in with how everything feels. Nice, Kelsey. Yeah. Bring your gaze forward, steady breath. Nice. Oh, Anna. Yeah, see, you have a little friend with you. Doing crow. Good job. Awesome. All right, so take about a minute or two to keep practicing this. Feel free to take a pause. Child's pose or standing. Continue to keep that steady flowing breath. That can be very helpful. Nice, Rachel. Yes. I saw that foot lift up. Ooh, I just saw a little flip on Kristen's camera. Yeah. Okay, so we'll meet in child's pose. If you have not made your way there yet, go ahead and just settle into child's. Feel free to walk the hands over to one side of your mat, a little side body stretch. Gently walk the hands to the other side of the mat if you haven't already. And just start to walk your hands back towards your knees. Come back into that kneeling upright position. We'll do a couple rounds of camel pose here to just open through the front of the body. So hands to the low back, fingertips point down, elbows hug in, peel the chest open. Press your knees down and then maybe lean back, that little lean from the center of the back up. To come out, squeeze the legs together, come to tabletop position. Hands plant, just rounding the back a couple times through cat pose. And then just turn your hands so the fingertips turn towards your knees. One hand at a time is fine as well. Hands towards the knees, and you might set your hips back a little bit to feel a little stretch, and nothing too intense. Just moving to a place where you feel sensation, and then just pause there. No need to really push anything in the wrists or any part of the body, for that matter. I'll just take one more big breath in here. And just release, bring the fingertips face forward. Come back up onto your knees. One more variation of camel. You can tuck your toes here, bring your hands to your low back, all just starting in that same way. And just start to lift the chest, just opening through the front of the body. Your gaze is up towards the ceiling maybe, or out in front of you. And then maybe you reach back for your ankles or your heels, one or both, keeping the center of your body as still as possible. So we're not trying to roll around a whole lot here. Keeping steady in the core, steady breath, peel the chest open. And to come out again, squeeze the legs together, roll forward onto the hands, tabletop. This opposite action in the spine here, rounding and neutralizing. Nice. This time flip to the tops of your hands so the fingertips point back towards your knees. One hand at a time is fine. So fingertips pointing back, tops of the hands on the ground. Whenever you're ready to switch, if you're on one hand, go ahead and switch to the other. Nice, and gently come back up onto your hands. Just swing the legs out in front of you. Come into Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees wide, knees out, lifting your chest here. Lengthen your back. And just fold forward, hinge forward. Feel free to round your back or reach the collarbones farther forward for more length in your spine. Gently walk the hands back. Bring the knees together and just straighten your legs out in front of you. Both legs extend straight, hands at your sides, just kind of lifting and lengthening the spine for starters. When you're ready, just folding forward, hinging forward, drop in. Gently begin to walk the hands back, lift the chest. Bring the soles of the feet onto the ground and just roll onto your back. Nice steady roll down. Take your time to get there. Do one more bridge pose here. When you're ready to lift up, just lifting the pelvis up and off of the ground. Having the option here to do one-legged bridge pose. So if that's the case for you, you can walk your left foot towards the center of your mat. Extend your right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Keeping the hips even, take one more inhale. Exhale to lower the foot down and just switch out. Right foot towards the middle, left leg extends up. Steady breath. Just lower the foot down, lower the hips down, and pause. Walk your knees out, feet out wide, and just drop the knees over to the right. Extend your left arm up and overhead, and right hand can rest on your belly. Just kind of receiving your breath into your hand. Gently come back through the center and switch sides. Just slowly release back through the middle. Come into a happy baby pose, this time holding. And just letting this be an inversion. A big release for the hips. Let your thighs be heavy towards the sides of your body. Let your breath slow down a little bit more. ready to release, just start extending the legs out, set up for Shavasana. This portion of practice is that time, that gesture of letting go and softening. You've done a lot in practice, in the action, in the effort category. Just letting yourself drop into this rest. In Shavasana. start to reawaken. We'll close practice with a pranayama exercise. If you feel like just laying down and don't feel like getting up yet, that's totally fine. Or if you'd like to practice pranayama, you can gently start to come up into a seated position. We'll do Nadi Shodhana breathing or alternate nostril breathing, and it's just how it sounds, that movement of the breath through either side of the nose, using the thumb and ring finger to close and open each side. This is a very cleansing breath. Nadi Shodhana actually means energy cleansing. So we'll just kind of balance both sides of the body with this breath. So just starting with a long breath in through your nose. Full breath out of the mouth. Right thumb to the right nostril, sealing off. Inhale left. Seal off the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Closing off. Exhale left. Inhale left. Closing off. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close it off. Exhale left. Just continue for a few more rounds. Just seeing if you can lengthen the breath a little bit with each round. The next time you exhale out the right side, you can just release your hand back down, take a couple breaths out and in through your nose. Just match your palms to the heart. Namaste. And thank you for sharing in practice today. Hopefully see you next week. Let me know if you have any